Hello, English learners, and welcome back to English Club. My name is Emily, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Paul. Hi, everyone. Emily, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing really well, Paul. You know, I'm particularly excited about today's episode because we're starting something completely new.
That's right. This is episode 1 of our brand new series, Learn English Quickly with Podcast. We've been planning this for months, haven't we?
We have, and I think our listeners are going to love it. Paul, why don't you tell everyone what makes this series so special?
Well, the idea behind this series is simple but powerful. We know that many English learners spend hours studying grammar books and vocabulary lists, which is great, but
they often struggle when it comes to real conversations, right?
exactly. So in this series, we're going to focus on real English, the kind of English that native speakers actually use every single day. We'll cover common situations, useful phrases, and most importantly, we'll help you understand how English really works in conversation.
And we're going to do it in a fun and engaging way. No boring lectures, no complicated grammar explanations that confuse you even more. Just two friends talking, teaching, and helping you improve your English naturally.
That sounds perfect, Emily. So for today's episode, episode 1, what's our main topic?
Today we're going to talk about a situation that happens to everyone, and I mean everyone, even native speakers. We're going to discuss what happens when you forget someone's name.
Oh no, that's so embarrassing, isn't it?
It really is. But you know what? It's also incredibly common, and there are some great phrases and expressions we can teach you to handle this awkward situation gracefully.
Before we dive into our main dialogue, let me give our listeners a quick overview of how each episode will work. Emily, would you like to explain the structure?
Sure. So in every episode, we'll start by playing a dialogue. That's a conversation between two people. The first time you hear it, it might be a bit fast. Don't worry if you don't understand everything.
That's normal. Native speakers talk quite quickly, so we want you to get used to natural speed English. But here's what makes our method special.
After you hear the dialogue at natural speed, we'll break it down for you. We'll explain the vocabulary, the phrases, and the expressions. We'll give you examples, and we'll help you understand not just what the words mean, but how to use them.
Then we'll play the dialogue again, but slower. By that time, you'll understand so much more.
And at the end of the episode, we'll play it one more time at natural speed. You'll be amazed at how much you've learned in just one episode.
It's a really effective method. We've tested it with our students, and the results have been fantastic.
Absolutely. So are you ready to start, Paul?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Listeners, get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook if you want to write down some phrases, and let's begin with our dialogue.
Remember, this first time will be at natural speed. Don't worry if you miss some words. Just try to get the general idea of what's happening. Here we go. Oh, hey. What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner. It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about language learning.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name's Paul Anderson. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too.
Okay, so that was our dialogue at natural speed. Paul, what did you think? Do you think our listeners caught most of it?
Well, there were definitely some tricky phrases in there. I noticed we used some really common expressions that English learners might not be familiar with.
You're right. So let's break it down now. We're going to go through this dialogue carefully and explain everything. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's start from the beginning. The dialogue begins with me saying, "Emily, how's it going?"
Right, and this is actually our first important phrase. Paul, why don't you explain this one?
Sure. How's it going is a very common casual greeting. It's similar to how are you, but it sounds much more natural and relaxed.
Exactly. When you say, how are you, it's perfectly fine, but it can sound a bit formal or textbook-like. Native speakers often use how's it going instead.
And you can use this with friends, colleagues, or even people you don't know very well. It's quite versatile.
Let me give you some examples of how you can use this phrase. Imagine you meet your friend at a coffee shop. You could say, hey Sarah, how's it going?
Or if you see your neighbor in the morning, you might say, "Morning, how's it going?"
You can also use variations of this phrase. For example, how are things going? Or simply, how's things?
That's right. And the typical response would be something like, "Good, thanks. How about you?" Or, "Not bad. Busy week, though."
Exactly. You don't need to give a long, detailed answer. Just a brief response is perfect.
Okay, so that's our first phrase. Now, let's move on to the next part of the dialogue. Emily, you said, "What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?"
Yes, and this is another great natural expression. Let's focus on around here.
Around here is a phrase that means in this area or nearby. It's used all the time in everyday conversation.
For example, if you're looking for a restaurant, you might ask someone, excuse me, is there a good Italian restaurant around here?
Or if you're giving directions, you might say, "The post office is around here somewhere. I think it's on the next street."
The great thing about around here is that it's not too specific. It means in this general area.
Right, and we can modify this phrase too. We can say around there when we're talking about a different location.
For instance, I used to live in Boston. There are some great universities around there.
Perfect example. Now, in the dialogue, I responded by saying, "Actually, my office is right around the corner."
Ooh, this is a good one. Around the corner is slightly different from around here.
That's right. When we say something is around the corner, we mean it's on the next street. It's very close, but you have to turn a corner to get there.
Exactly. So if someone asks you where the bank is and it's on the next street, you can say, it's just around the corner.
Let me give you another example. There's a great bakery around the corner from my apartment. I go there every morning for fresh bread.
Lovely. And you can also use this phrase more figuratively. For example, summer is just around the corner means summer is coming soon.
That's a great point, Emily. English speakers love using around the corner to mean something is coming soon or is about to happen.
Like, the exam is just around the corner, so I need to start studying seriously.
Excellent. Now, let's continue with the dialogue. I said, "It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about language learning."
This is just polite conversation, but it's important to notice how we make small talk in English.
That's true. Making small talk is a crucial skill. When you bump into someone you've met before, it's nice to reference the last time you saw them.
It shows that you remember them and that you valued your previous interaction. It makes the other person feel good.
Exactly. So phrases like, "It was great to meet you last week," or "I really enjoyed our conversation about," are very useful.
You can practice this by thinking about the last time you met someone. What did you talk about? Where were you?
Then the next time you see them, you can say something like, "Hey, it was so nice talking to you last week about that new restaurant. Did you end up going there?"
Perfect. Now, in the dialogue, Emily responded with something very important. She said, yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Ah, yes. I'm in a bit of a hurry. This is one of our key phrases for today.
It definitely is. Paul, why don't you explain what this means?
Sure. When you say "I'm in a bit of a hurry," you're telling someone that you don't have much time. You need to move quickly or you need to leave soon.
The phrase in a hurry means you're rushed or you're moving fast because you have somewhere to be or something to do.
And adding a bit of a makes it sound more polite and less abrupt.
Exactly. If you just say, I'm in a hurry,
it can sound a bit rude or too direct, but I'm in a bit of a hurry is softer and more polite.
Let me give you some example situations. Imagine you're at work and a colleague wants to chat, but you have a meeting in 5 minutes. You could say, "I'd love to talk, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. I have a meeting soon. Can we chat later?"
Great example. Or imagine you're shopping and the salesperson is being very slow. You might say, "Excuse me, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Could we speed this up, please?"
Here's another one. "I can't talk right now. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Can I call you back later?"
Perfect. And you can also say, "I'm in a rush," which means exactly the same thing.
That's right. "I'm in a rush" and "I'm in a hurry" are interchangeable.
Now, in the dialogue, Emily continued by saying, "Here's my card. We should
Definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Let's talk about meet up. This is a really common phrasal verb.
It is. Meet up means to meet someone, usually in a casual or social way. It's very informal.
You use it when you're making plans with friends or acquaintances. For example, let's meet up for coffee next week.
Or, I'm meeting up with some old school friends this weekend.
The great thing about meetup is that it sounds friendly and casual. It's perfect for social situations.
Right, you wouldn't use it in very formal situations. For instance, you wouldn't say to your boss, "Let's meet up to discuss the project." Instead, you'd say, "Let's meet to discuss the project."
Good distinction. Now, let's move on to the next part. In the dialogue, I asked, "You still have my contact details, right?"
Ah, contact details. This is another important phrase.
Contact details refers to all the information someone needs to contact you. Your phone number, email address, maybe your social media handles.
It's especially common in business contexts. When you exchange business cards, you're exchanging contact details.
Exactly. You might say, "Could you send me your contact details?" Or, "I don't have your contact details anymore. Could you give them to me again?"
In some countries, people might say contact information instead, which means the same thing.
That's true. Both are correct. Contact details is perhaps more common in British English, while contact information might be more common in American English, but both are understood everywhere.
Great. Now we come to the most important part of our dialogue, the embarrassing moment.
Oh yes, this is the whole point of our lesson today. Emily, you said, "You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind."
Slipped my mind. This is such a useful phrase. Paul, explain this one.
With pleasure. When something slips your mind, it means you forgot it. But it's not like you forgot it permanently. It's more like you temporarily can't remember it.
Exactly. It suggests that you knew it before, but right now, at this moment, you can't recall it. It's like the information slipped away from your memory.
And it's a very polite way to say you forgot something. It sounds much better than just saying, "I forgot."
Let me give you some examples. Imagine you were supposed to bring a document to work, but you forgot it. You could say, "I'm so sorry. I meant to bring the report, but it completely slipped my mind."
Or if someone asks you to call them back and you forget, you might say, "I'm really sorry I didn't call you yesterday. It just slipped my mind."
Here's another example. What was the name of that restaurant we went to last month? It's completely slipped my mind.
Notice that we often use completely or totally or just with this phrase to emphasize how we forgot.
That's a great observation. You can say, "It slipped my mind," "It completely slipped my mind," "It just slipped my mind," or "It totally slipped my mind."
All of these are natural and common. And in our dialogue, Emily used a variation. She said, "Your name has just slipped my mind."
Yes, this is a very diplomatic way to tell someone you've forgotten their name. It's honest but polite.
Much
Better than saying, "I forgot your name," which sounds a bit harsh. Absolutely. Now, in the dialogue, Paul responded very kindly. He said, sure, my name is Paul Anderson. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too."
Yes, and this brings us to our last important phrase, terrible with.
Terrible with is used to describe something you're really not good at. It's like saying you're bad at something, but it sounds more natural and conversational.
Exactly. In the dialogue, I said, "I'm terrible with names," which means I'm really bad at remembering people's names.
Let me give you more examples. I'm terrible with numbers. I can barely do simple math in my head.
Or, "I'm terrible with directions. I get lost all the time, even in my own neighborhood."
I'm terrible with technology. Every time I try to use my new phone, I accidentally delete something important.
These are all very relatable, aren't they? Everyone has something they're terrible with.
Exactly. And it's a nice way to admit your weaknesses in a lighthearted way. It makes you seem humble and honest.
And notice that we usually follow terrible with a noun or noun phrase. Terrible with names, terrible with numbers, terrible with directions.
You can also use bad with or not good with, which mean the same thing, but are slightly less strong than terrible with.
That's right. I'm not very good with names is a bit softer than I'm terrible with names.
Okay, so we've covered all the main phrases from our dialogue. Let's quickly review them before we listen to the dialogue again.
Great idea. So our key phrases for today are
Number 1, how's it doing? A casual, friendly greeting.
Number 2, around here, meaning in this area or nearby.
Number 3, around the corner, meaning on the next street, very close by.
Number 4, in a bit of a hurry, meaning you don't have much time. You need to move quickly.
Number 5, meet up, to meet someone in a casual or social way.
Number 6, contact details. Your phone number, email, and other information people need to reach you.
Number 7, slipped my mind, forgot something temporarily.
And number 8, terrible with, really bad at something.
Perfect. Now, let's listen to the dialogue again, but this time we'll play it a bit slower. As you listen, try to identify all these phrases we just discussed.
And don't worry if you still miss something. The important thing is that you're understanding more than the first time.
Here we go. The dialogue at a slower speed. Dialogue 2, slower speed. Emily, how's it going? Oh, hey, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner. It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about language learning.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Paul Anderson. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too.
I'm terrible with names too.
Excellent. How was that? Could you hear the phrases more clearly this time?
I hope so, and I hope you're starting to feel more confident about using these phrases in your own conversations.
You know, Paul, I think this would be a good moment to share some personal stories about forgetting names. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. It will help our listeners understand that this situation is completely normal and happens to everyone.
Exactly. So, Paul, have you ever had a really embarrassing moment when you forgot someone's name?
Oh, absolutely. I've had several, actually. But the most embarrassing one was at a family reunion.
Oh no, you forgot a family member's name?
Yes, it was terrible. We have a big extended family, and I don't see some of my relatives very often. There was this one uncle I hadn't seen in maybe 5 or 6 years.
And you forgot his name?
Completely. He came up to me and started talking, and I had no idea what his name was. I knew he was my uncle, but I couldn't remember if he was Uncle John, Uncle Mike, or Uncle Robert.
So what did you do?
Well, I was too embarrassed to ask him directly, so I had to wait until one of my cousins came by. Then I quietly asked my cousin, "Hey, who's that guy talking to Dad?"
And what did your cousin say?
He looked at me like I was crazy and said, "That's Uncle John. You've known him your whole life." I felt so embarrassed.
Oh no, but I totally understand. When you don't see someone for a long time, it's easy to forget.
Exactly. And the worst part was that for the rest of the evening, I had to keep calling him Uncle because I was afraid I'd forget his name again and call him the wrong name.
That's actually a pretty good strategy, just calling someone uncle or aunt when you can't remember their specific name.
It worked in that situation, but I've learned my lesson. Now before family reunions, I look at old family photos and remind myself of everyone's names.
That's smart. I should do that too. I've had similar experiences.
Really? Tell us about it.
Well, mine wasn't with family, but it was still pretty embarrassing. I was at a professional networking event and I met this woman. We had a great conversation for about 20 minutes about our work and our interests.
And then?
And then we exchanged business cards. But here's the thing. I had already met her at a different event 6 months earlier. I had completely forgotten meeting her before.
Oh no, did she remember you?
Yes. As soon as we exchanged cards, she looked at my card and said, "Wait, I think we've met before. Wasn't it at the marketing conference in March?"
How awkward.
It was so awkward. I had to admit that yes, we had met, but I didn't remember. I felt terrible.
What did you say to her?
I was honest. I said, "I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. We did meet at that conference. I apologize. I meet so many people at these events, and sometimes I have trouble keeping track of everyone."
That's a good response. You were honest, but also gave a reasonable explanation.
She was very understanding about it. She said she has the same problem. We ended up laughing about it and actually became good friends after that.
See, that's the thing.
Most people understand because they've been in the same situation. Exactly. Everyone forgets names sometimes. It doesn't make you a bad person or mean you don't care about the other person. It just means you're human.
That's such an important point. I think many English learners worry too much about these social situations.
You're right. They worry that if they forget someone's name or if they make a small social mistake, people will judge them harshly.
But in reality, native speakers make these mistakes all the time.
All the time. I forget people's names. I forget where I put my keys. I forget appointments.
Same here. Just last week, I completely forgot that I had a dentist appointment. I only remembered when the dentist's office called me asking where I was.
See? We all forget things. It's completely normal. The important thing is how you handle it when it happens.
That's a great point. Let's talk about some strategies for what to do when you forget someone's name.
Excellent idea. So, strategy number 1, be honest and direct.
Yes, just politely say, "I'm so sorry, but your name has slipped my mind. Could you remind me?"
Most people will understand and won't be offended. In fact, they might even be relieved because maybe they forgot your name too.
Strategy number 2. Use context clues to remember.
What do you mean by that?
Well, try to remember where you met the person or what you talked about. Sometimes those details can help jog your memory.
That's smart. So you might say, we met at the conference last month, right? We talked about marketing strategies. And hopefully, as you talk, their name will come back to you.
Exactly. Strategy number 3. Ask someone else.
Right, like Paul did with his cousin at the family reunion. If there's someone else around who knows the person, you can discreetly ask them.
But be careful with this one. Make sure you ask quietly so the person whose name you forgot doesn't hear you.
Good point. Strategy number 4, ask for their business card.
Oh, this is a clever one. In a business or professional setting, you can say, "Do you have a business card? I'd love to stay in touch."
And then their name will be right there on the card. Problem solved.
Strategy number 5. Ask how to spell their name.
This works especially well with names that can be spelled different ways. You can say, I want to make sure I have your contact information correct. How do you spell your name?
Of course, this strategy doesn't work as well with very common names like Bob or Sarah.
True. If someone's name is Bob and you ask how to spell it, they might get suspicious.
But for names like Catherine, which could be spelled Catherine, 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 or Catherine, it works perfectly.
Exactly. Strategy number 6, use social media.
This is a modern solution. If you have mutual friends, you can look at their social media friends list to find the person's name.
I've done this before. It's discreet and nobody has to know you forgot.
The only downside is that it takes some time, so it doesn't help in the moment when you're face to face with the person.
True, but it's useful for following up later. Strategy number 7, introduce them to someone else.
Ooh, this is a tricky one.
Can you explain it?
Sure. If you're with the person whose name you forgot and another friend comes over, you can say to your friend, "Have you two met?" Then they'll introduce themselves to each other and you'll hear the person's name.
That's clever. But again, you have to be subtle about it.
Right. If you're too obvious, people will realize what you're doing.
These are all great strategies, but I think the most important thing is to not panic.
Absolutely. Forgetting someone's name is not the end of the world. Stay calm, be polite, then handle it gracefully.
And remember, the other person has probably forgotten someone's name too. They'll understand.
Now, let's talk about the opposite situation. What if someone forgets your name?
Good question. How should you react?
Well, the most important thing is to be understanding and not make the other person feel bad.
Right. Don't say things like, "What, you don't remember my name? We've met 3 times."
That would be very rude. Instead, just politely remind them. Say something like, "No problem, I'm Emily. We met at the conference last month."
Keep it light and friendly. Maybe even make a joke about it to ease the tension.
Like, "No worries, I'm terrible with names too. I'm Emily."
Perfect. By saying you're also bad with names, you make the other person feel less embarrassed.
It's all about being kind and understanding. We're all human and we all make these small social mistakes.
Absolutely. Now I think it's time for us to listen to the dialogue one more time.
Great idea. This time we'll play it at natural speed again. But now that we've explained everything, you should understand so much more.
Try to listen not just for the words, but for the natural rhythm and intonation of the conversation.
Pay attention to how we use these phrases in context. Notice that the conversation flows naturally, even though we're using all these useful expressions.
Ready? Here we go. The dialogue at natural speed one more time.
Emily, how's it going? Oh, hey, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner. It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about language learning.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure. You still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Paul Anderson. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too.
Wonderful. How did that sound this time?
I hope everyone noticed how much more they understood this time around.
That's the power of breaking down the language and explaining it clearly. Now you know exactly what every phrase means and how to use it.
Before we finish today's episode, let's do a quick review of everything we've learned.
Great idea. So today we focused on an embarrassing but common situation, forgetting someone's name.
We learned 8 key phrases that you can use in similar situations.
Let's go through them one more time with example sentences.
Number 1. How's it going? Example. Hey Mike, how's it going? I haven't seen you in ages.
Number 2, around here. Example, is there a pharmacy around here? I need to buy some medicine.
Number 3. Around the corner. Example. The subway station is just around the corner. You can't miss it.
Number 4, in a bit of a hurry. Example, I'm in a bit of a hurry this morning because I have an important meeting at 9.
Number 5. Meet up. Example. Let's meet up for lunch next week. I'd love to catch up.
Number 6, contact details. Example, could you give me your contact details? I'll send you the information about the event.
Number 7. Slipped my mind. I'm sorry I didn't call you back yesterday. It completely slipped my mind.
And number 8, terrible with. Example, I'm terrible with computers. I always need my kids to help me.
These are all phrases that native speakers use every single day. If you start using them, you'll sound much more natural and fluent.
Now, before we end, we want to give you some homework.
Homework? But this is supposed to be fun.
Don't worry, it is fun. Here's what we want you to do.
First, listen to this episode again, maybe even 2 or 3 times. Each time you listen, you'll catch something new.
Second, try to use at least 3 of these phrases in your daily life this week. Even if you're not speaking English with others, you can practice saying them out loud.
Third, write down a time when you forgot someone's name. What happened? How did you handle it? Practice describing this situation in English.
And finally, share your experience with us. You can leave a comment on our website at englishclub.com or connect with us on social media.
We love hearing from our listeners. Your stories and questions help us create better content for you.
Now, let's do a quick pronunciation practice.
Great idea. We'll say each of our key phrases slowly and clearly. Listeners, repeat after us.
Ready? Here we go.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Around here.
Around here.
Around the corner.
Around the corner.
In a bit of a hurry.
In a bit of a hurry.
Meet up.
Meet up.
Contact details.
Contact details.
Slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
Terrible with.
Terrible with. Excellent. How did that feel?
I hope everyone practiced along with us. Pronunciation practice is so important.
It really is. The more you practice saying these phrases out loud, the more natural they'll feel when you use them in real conversations.
Now, let's give our listeners some extra bonus tips about English learning.
Ooh, I love bonus tips. What should we share?
Well, tip number 1, don't just study English, live it.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, try to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Change your phone settings to English. Listen to English music. Think in English when you're going about your daily activities.
That's excellent advice. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster you'll improve.
Tip number 2, focus on phrases, not just individual words.
This is so important. Many English learners try to memorize thousands of individual words, but they don't know how to put them together.
Exactly. It's better to learn phrases and expressions that you can use immediately in conversation.
Like all the phrases we learned today. These are complete, ready-to-use expressions.
Tip number 3, learn from context.
This means don't just memorize definitions. See how words and phrases are used in real sentences and real situations.
That's why we include example sentences and tell stories. It helps you understand the context.
Tip number 4, be patient with yourself.
Learning a language takes time. You won't become fluent overnight, and that's okay.
Celebrate small victories. If you understood one more word today than you did yesterday, that's progress.
Tip number 5, find a language partner or join a conversation group.
This is huge. You need to practice speaking with other people. It doesn't have to be a native speaker. Practicing with other learners is valuable too.
And finally, tip number 6, make it fun.
Yes, if you're not enjoying your English learning, you won't stick with it.
Find topics that interest you. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you love sports, read sports news in English.
When you're interested in the content, learning doesn't feel like work. It feels like entertainment.
These tips have helped so many of our students over the years.
Absolutely. And remember, we're always adding new resources to our website.
You can find transcripts of all our episodes, vocabulary lists, extra practice exercises, and much more at EnglishClub.com.
We also have a community forum where you can ask questions and interact with other English learners from around the world.
It's a great way to practice your writing skills and make new friends.
Okay, Paul, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. This has been a packed episode.
Let's do a final review of our 8 key phrases.
Okay, but this time, let's make it quick. Just the phrase and a 2-word definition.
Perfect. How's it going? Casual greeting.
Around here, this area.
Around the corner. Next street.
In a bit of a hurry, time pressure.
Meet up. Casual meeting.
Contact details, communication information.
Slipped my mind. Temporarily forgot.
Terrible with, really bad.
Perfect. Now our listeners have these phrases firmly in their minds.
I hope so. And remember, the best way to remember these phrases is to use them.
Try to use at least one of them in a conversation this week. Even if you just practice with yourself in the mirror, that's a start.
Every little bit of practice helps.
Okay, we're coming to the end of our very first episode.
It's been such a pleasure to spend this time with all of you.
We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Thank you so much for listening to English Club Podcast, Episode 1.
Remember to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
We'll be back soon with more practical English lessons, useful phrases, and real conversations.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, have fun with English.
If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover,
In future episodes, please let us know.
You can reach us through our website, social media, or by leaving a comment.
We read every single message, and we love hearing from you.
Your feedback helps us create better content that meets your needs.
Okay, everyone, I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
But just for now, we'll be back very soon with more episodes.
In the meantime, practice those phrases, immerse yourself in English, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Making mistakes is part of learning. Even native speakers forget people's names.
That's right, so don't be too hard on yourself.
Be kind to yourself, be patient, and trust the process.
You're doing great just by being here and listening to this podcast.
We're so proud of you for taking the initiative to improve your English.
Keep up the excellent work.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way.
All right, Emily, shall we?
Let's do it. Thank you everyone for listening.
This has been English Club Podcast, Episode 1. Learn English quickly with podcast.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode. Happy learning.
And don't forget, English is fun.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.